So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about internet security when it comes to your business. Now I know quite a number of people are going to say, but me, my cap business is very small, so why would people be interested in hacking me or trying to intercept my data? But after watching this video, you'll get to truly understand why exactly you need to begin protecting yourself right from the beginning. All right, so just to give you a bit of context, there are two kinds of hacking. The first is, at least when it comes to the business sense, is when you're hitting the big fish. You're getting this person and you're making the person pay 70 Bitcoin sent to some crypto wallet somewhere in the world. Then the second is when you do it on a smaller scale, you target these smaller corporations and make sure that, number one, if you know that it has 20 employees, have 3 core employees and install some sort of spyware so that whatever they are doing right from the beginning, you have information of what you're doing. You have access to their bank accounts, you have access to the passwords of mobile money, probably you have access to their emails. And if they don't have two-factor authentication, it means anytime you want to access their emails, you can actually do so. Now, this is one of the ones you should be more worried about. Now, what happens is, if you're a smaller organization, these hackers get into your systems early enough. They begin collecting data. They begin understanding what your processes are like, so that at any point in time when you ever become big, it could be 3 years down the road, it could be 5 years down the road, this is the point at which they take advantage of all this information they have gathered about you. Within 3 years of someone looking at your laptop, they know all your passwords, they know which banks you use, they know who your clients are. So it's easy for them to use this information to their advantage. Just to show you an example, Hash Puppy was one of those scammers. They call themselves Yahoo Boys. What they would do is they would install spyware on your laptop and make sure that slowly by slowly they gather the information. Now, in one of his largest cases, what happened was they had installed spyware in a law firm's PC. Now, actually, they didn't hack the entire system, they only hacked the secretary. Now, what happened is this secretary keeps communicating. Now, in one final email, they found out that this law firm was supposed to refund one of their clients almost $1 million. It was $992K. Now, just before they sent out that email, this person intercepted the secretary's email and sent another email changing the account in which these funds should be routed to. Of course, the secretary goes ahead, she does whatever she needs to do. She sent the money to another account, only to find out later on that, first wait, the funds that I sent were actually not sent to a wrong account, because the actual client does not know this bank account. That is when they started discovering that, okay, things had gone wrong. But what happened was, yes, these guys only found out that they had been hacked, they were being spied on at that point in time when this transaction happened. But over the last 3 years, they had been slowly but surely just gathering as much information. And now, by the time someone has information of you're supposed to issue a refund, just imagine how much more information they have. So anyway, why I'm sharing that is, don't take this lightly. Do not in any way think that just because you're small now, you're not going to grow. 3 years down the road, if you're employed here, you might be the governor Bank of Uganda and I have access to your entire phone. Or the small startup you've started today might be processing millions of dollars. And at that level, you'll be having several employees, several steps. So you don't know what that information can be used to. So if you do not begin protecting yourself right now, you would be subject to a lot of loss in the future. And the truth is, whether we want it or not, yes, it might be being done at a small scale, but it's happening. Tanzania alone lost $5 billion. Yes, you think this is far-fetched, but I mean, people in Tanzania are being thugged $5 billion in 1 year. What happens is someone calls you, tells you press number 1. You just press number 1. They have access to your phone. One email comes and says this could be you. download this, you click download, or open this, you click that, and immediately you open, someone literally has been given access. So that's why it's important you get to understand some of these things. Yes, I'm not an IT expert, but because I'm in the business world and I understand the damage that could be caused on grounds of ignorance, I also go ahead and try to learn and see, okay, how exactly to protect myself. So I'm going to share a couple of techniques that you could use, and if they make sense, you could as well deploy them. But these are going to be specific to corporations. Okay. So first things first, you need to have proper security of your domain name, your servers. Sometimes it's taken lightly. I mean, it's just my company name.com. I could always get another one. But in the scenario that you've been operating a year and maybe year two, this person decides to change that domain, he actually owns your domain. Meaning, if I want to scam someone, I could literally create an email because I now own your domain and send an email out to any of your clients and tell them, do you know what? For my pending invoice, send it to this number. So that's first level security. Make sure that you use a trusted domain provider, and if possible, add two-factor authentication so that at any point in time, an SMS is authenticated before any transfers are done. So that's layer one of security. Layer two, first understand the catalog of all software that you guys use for operations. You could be using something like QuickBooks for accounting. You could be using something like maybe the Monkey Pesa Sales and Marketing Hub for your sales and marketing. Then you use probably Canva for your edits. So try to also add security on those layers. Make sure that before anyone logs in, let them have some kind of two-factor authentication so that way, even if someone has access to your email, for example, before they actually log in, an email, some sort of code has to be sent to your phone. Then that is the code that will be used to validate that it's actually you. So make sure that you always add that extra layer of security. It's called two-factor authentication. So make it mandatory across the board, just to show you how dangerous not having it is. Recently in the US, there is an oil company that was literally paralyzed just because one person didn't have two-factor authentication. They forced them to pay 71 bitcoins, multiply that times $40,000. That is a lot of money just to have access to their systems. And the more information you have in your system and that's intercepted and blocked, the harder it gets for you to operate your business. So don't take that lightly. Make that mandatory so that everyone that has access to any information, whether it's sensitive or not, they have some sort of extra layer of security. Make it mandatory. 2FA is a must across the board. That's layer number two. Then layer number three is always try to switch up your devices. I know it's a bit costly, but every 2 or so years, switch up, get another laptop. Switch it up, because sometimes there is spyware that is installed on your machine and you don't even know that it's there. But because it's on your local machine, the person keeps having access to you. So when you switch that machine up, automatically that spyware goes away. There's some spyware called Pegasus. It's a menace. Once they install it, you can never know. Someone can be taking your pictures, someone can access your Google, someone can get all your photos, whatever information they need, they could get access to it. But the advantage with it is it's only locked to your machine. So every 2 years or so, switch it up and make sure you have another device. Everyone within the company get another phone, get another laptop. That way, for any spyware that could be installed on your machine locally, eliminate it. Then number 4, try and avoid downloading content from, should I say, those sites, porn sites, sites like Kickers, torrents. Yes, they have free content, but what happens is whenever you're installing, there's always another file that is installed on your machine. Now, because you don't know who the author is, it could be some Russian hacker seated and they're seeing and doing whatever. That's why you notice that whenever you have an antivirus and you're downloading something from Kickers, there are always too many triggers. Reason being is you're giving this system access to your machine. and you don't know what it's going to be used to. So maybe if you're downloading such things, you could use your personal device, not the work machine where you know all your passwords are saved and stuff like that. Then the next is avoid saving your passwords locally. Don't put them in any browser. Don't, especially Google Chrome. What happens is if I intercept your Google account and I log in, even if I log in on another device, it means I can just go to your history. I see which banks you have. I see which services you usually use. I access your credit card in that. Then because your password is saved, I don't even need to hassle to go through figuring out your password. All I need to do is just get your Google account, and every saved password that's in there, I can now access that account. What this means is now you can give me access to your bank, you can give me access to your cards that are saved in the system. So as much as possible, as long as it comes to work, avoid keeping these personal details. Avoid saving any passwords on your machine. So off the top of my head, those are some of the ways that you could prevent your systems from being intercepted. But more cautiously, if you can get a security expert, it's not that expensive, at least for our local market, to kind of do an audit to help you understand what could be going wrong, where could we be intercepted. Because like I said, the bigger you grow, the more of a target you become. So you don't want a situation where you have become this enormous company, and because you are taking things lightly when you are younger, when you're a smaller company, now someone has amassed all this data on you, which information they could now use against you at that point in time. So those are the ways you could protect yourself when it gets to internet security for your business. That's all from me today, folks. Bye-bye.